Key defender.
Good call on English playing back, I think.
They won a flag with his undersized defence.
Yeah.
He's rolled the dice on it.
Yeah, they had a great final series, but can they get through a year?
The way the game's played now, Hutchie, the best teams have got two big key forwards. All of them do. So
some have got three, right?
Yeah, so you've got to roll your wingers back hard, and if you can get some ruck support back, that'll help.
Speaking of key forwards, the Swans have suddenly got two. They had none, and now they've got three if you include Sam Reid. And the young Logan McDonald's going to be a star. And Buddy was back to support him. What did you think on the weekend?
Oh, I thought he looked fit, and I just wonder whether the Swans have quietly taken renowned fitness coach who was at Hawthorn with Buddy for a number of years, Jack Russell's advice when he said this about Buddy last year.
If I was talking to Bud, and I will reach out to Bud, is I'd be trying to get him to drop weight. The biggest thing that a lot of guys do that prolongs their career is actually getting lighter.
I think most people would assume that it's not really appropriate for people from other clubs to make public comment on players from other clubs. I think that should be, I guess, a given in the industry. So it was a bit surprising that he said it.
So they were filthy about it, but what he said was right. And Lloydie, he looks leaner. He looks physically leaner, and that will help him prolong his career and cover the ground better. How'd you see his game?
That's the skinniest and leanest I've seen Buddy in his time in Sydney, Caro. So it was great to see him back. And I just think with this boy, Logan McDonald, Hutch, who you just touched on, covering the ground and playing up higher and the team they're growing, that Buddy maybe play him closer to goal and see if they can help nurse him through and not have him tear a hamstring by being
his teammates certainly looked after him over the weekend. It was fantastic to see. So as he listened to Andrew Russell and Damien Hardwick, because they're certainly playing a different game. Another bit of criticism he didn't like last year.
They've had to invent the team because of the size of the wage, and they can't reinvent it because of the directors' commitment made back in the day, Cara, that famous signature that the commission...
No, when they lost players like Aliir as a result.
They can't thin the money out, and therefore they've had to go young around him and build for him to when the deal expires. But he might yet be prolonged with the rule changes. And they might be able to get a more favourable contract post this one. Particularly if this anti-density rule got anywhere near getting up, Caro, it'd be unbelievable for players like Buddy.
The way they're playing, Caro, that's my big thing. Buddy, 1.4 this year, maybe 1.2 next year, that they don't lose another Aliir at the end of the year.
No, disproportionate this year. This is a bad year. But two rising stars 2 weeks in a row, all those wonderful academy players that they've got the right way. It's an extraordinary success story so far this year.
Now, with the caveat that young Phillips might yet be Chris Judd at North, have they got chest pain yet? I'm not taking McDonald at pick 3.
Well, he'd want to be Chris Judd, and he'd want to win a couple of Brownlow medals because you've got a key forward there who looks like a young Jonathan Brown to me. He was spoken about as number 1 or number 2. Ben Brown goes, you're rebuilding the whole squad. Surely, and I've heard some talk they started with the midfield. If that's the case, it's the wrong thing to do. You go with the big key forward and get him in as soon as you can and develop him like they've done with the King Twins at Gold Coast and St Kilda and other clubs. And he puts bums on seats. No wonder North are getting 13,000 for their first home game of the year.
You go and watch that kid play a bit.
Absolutely. It looks on the surface a shocking call. Now, we haven't seen Phillips play because he hasn't played a lot at all. But he'd want to be very, very good, 180-centimetre midfielder.
He's ready to play, though, wasn't he? So that's,
McDonald.
It's hard to quite judge because of our game
it's hard. Where I'm with Kane is North, for example, Brown was going out. Larkey would need support with a big forward. Whereas Carlton went for Sam Walsh. So, but they had Mackay, they had Curnow, so they'd go, OK, we won't take a King because we'll take Sam Walsh in. So that's probably where Kane's probably coming from, with North maybe needing something.
Yeah, and Sam Walsh instantly, 20, 25 possessions from day one and look ready to go. Phillips, who knows?